By the way, I can give you a very interesting story. Very short. It happened last year within the period when I was giving programs on TV. We had 1.5 years, each week 1.5 hour program. And within the program, when we have been talking about the moon, discussing the age of the moon, we have been called by telephone one guy who was working like who is repairing the cars. Just simple person, and he amazed everything who has been near the television. He said, listen, you have been talking right now with other persons, and many people wrote books that planet moon is approximately 500 million years old and something like this. He said, listen, did you ever saw the movie that Americans showed from the moon? I know that there are different opinions whether it was or not. This is other question. But do you remember this film? When they gone out of a spacecraft and made a first step on the surface of the moon, they start to run, and you remember it was a dust, right? Dust. Approximately 10 per 15 centimeters, like this, right? Moon have a very weak magnetic field, right? Moon has no atmosphere, right? It means everything can fall on the moon without any problems, right? This amount of the dust can fall on the moon no more than for 5,000 years. And we said, my gosh, truth, absolutely truth, our scientists. And this just worker said, listen, are you blind? Just like this. It means no more than 5,000 years. Actually, a little bit more, but he is absolutely right. When we worked with the ancient texts, and you remember and you know that Egyptians and the other civilization, Chinese, they were very good astronomers. Perfect. We didn't find any mention about the Venus in any text older than 4,000 years. No Venus there. That's the reason. So it means actually they are very young, and somebody produced it, just dragged here, moon dragged Venus, and our solar system was like rebuilt, and from one we now have two, consist of two parts. But this is the other story, but very interesting story. Okay.
Zachariah Sitchin mentioned a lot about planet Nibiru having a period of 3,600 years, and now much is being said about the possibility of Planet X coming back into our solar system. What does Russian science have to say about this? Is it imminent? Is it not imminent? Or have you located it? Have you seen it from space?
Yes, we have been discussing also Nibiru, right? What you call like Nibiru, actually, if you will be very precise in reading texts yourself, Zachariah Sitchin did a nice work, but I always try to say to everybody, try to do this job yourself. Yourself. And you will see that, first of all, later on, nobody will fool you. You get your own idea. Then you will see how it is possible to live on the planet with a period of Then we know about this planet, but it's a very small one, only 20 kilometers in diameter. 20, with a huge mass. Nobody can live there. And this planet has the name. Its ancient name is, I don't know, do you know it? Hesna. Hesna. This is our previous sun, which died long, long ago. That's why it's so small and with a huge mass. But if you are talking about the planet actually described by Zaharia Sitchin, whom I respect highly, this is the planet behind the sun exactly, which is called, we call it Gloria. In America, sometimes you can hear about it like a Clarion. Clarion, maybe you remember, yeah? This is the question. An important thing to always remember, within the 10 years, we will meet them.
Спасибо.
Ой, пожалуйста.
On the one, I don't remember the number of the Russian probe that went to Mars, and they videoed an object coming up from the surface.
Yeah.
And what was
Phobos,
that?
Phobos 2.
Phobos 2?
Yeah.
And in further analysis of those videos, could they determine anything about the object that came up? Thank you.
I know the situation from inside, because Space Control Center is in Moscow, and I know many people from there because we are working closely, and they know this case. They have videos, and I can tell you even more than this. Somehow, try to understand, I'm not going to say that if this is like this time. Just a few days you lost shuttle here.
Tell like it is. Just
And
let it out.
a few years ago, we lost also, but without pilots. When we have been Space Control Center, and I was talking exactly with a person, exactly, who was controlling on computer all what was going on with this spacecraft, okay? We met before the blast off, maybe 4 months. She's a lady. And when she said, look, we have a program moving to Mars, and we're going to film the sun, I said, you will lose it. You'll lose it. I'm sure you'll lose it. She said, oh, come on, impossible. I said, okay, forgot about it. That day, she said, I'm sitting before the screens, and we losing. I immediately remembered you. We're losing. When they checked the programs, they saw. I noticed that somehow somebody or anybody connected to the program which were running according to the blast off did something, and the rocket fall down in the ocean. It was not done by Earthlings, no. Somebody just somehow affected this process, and we lost the spacecraft.
That was your shot? That was a Russian?
It was not shuttle, it was just a rocket sent to Mars, and we lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have time. Time's up, okay.
Those moon bases that were implied, were they manned or unmanned?
No, if you're asking again about
those
the
previously mentioned ones with the lady.
No, I can tell you fairly that Russians never tested and even tried to test any nuclear bomb on the moon. Never.
Well, I'm just talking about a base at all. Is that a mechanical, that is a remote controlled base with nobody there, or is it?
We know inside of our group we're absolutely sure that there are some stations on the moon and on the Mars. We noticed its activity more than over. We noticed that the activity of our installation in Valley of Death, I was talking today, somehow is connected with this system on the Mars. They are working like in synchronization. So that's why we're absolutely sure. One of the reasons why some kind of a power do not allow us to go to the Mars exactly because of this reason. Because when we will land on the Mars and made few hundred steps forward, we will see it all.
I was referring to a Russian base, like she said.
There is no base Russian on the moon.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I
Forget it.
don't believe that we went to the, moon on that, in '69 either, even though I worked for NASA time travel.
But
Just very quickly, if you are a government body. So one quick.
We're running out of tape.
thanks, friends.
Thank you.
You can use mine.
Thank you, Valery.